Welcome to the program. Glad to have you with me. I'm Folake Adesugba. You're with the Rise News, and yes, this is indeed the Global Sports Report. On the way, we'll have all the top sports stories of the day, analysis, debate, argument, and as I like to say, lots of actions. And now our top sports stories in brief. EFL Cup, Wonder Kid Diaz at the double as dominance. Manchester City put Fulham to the sword to book place in Carabao Cup quarterfinals. And new deal on the horizon. Raheem Sterling verbally agrees to new 5-year Manchester City deal. In golf, defending champion Justin Rose, one shot off the lead at Turkish Open as he seeks to regain world #1 spot. And in tennis, Djokovic to face Cillic in Paris Masters quarterfinals. In the NBA, on Halloween night, trick or treat, Luka Doncic and Mavs come up short 114 to 113 against LeBron James and the Lakers. We begin with the top footballing stories making the headlines. Raheem Diaz scored twice as Carabao Cup holders Manchester City eased into the quarterfinals after beating Fulham 2-0 at the Etihad Stadium on Thursday night. Diaz gave Pep Guardiola's side a first-half lead after his shot deflected in off Alexander Mitrovic. The 19-year-old Spaniard doubled his tally when Gabriel Jesus' shot ricocheted off the post into his path, leaving him with a simple finish in the 65th minute. City will face either Leicester or Southampton in the quarterfinals, with that tie to be played on November 27th after it was rearranged following the helicopter crash that claimed the life of Fox's owner Vijay Srivadhanaprabha. And arch rivals Boca Juniors and River Plate will stage this year's final of the prestigious Copa Libertadores. It will be the first time that two Argentinian sides will play for South America's top club trophy. Boca qualified after a 2-2 draw at Palmeiras of Brazil. The most popular club in Argentina had won the first leg 2-0. Boca crushed Palmeiras coach Luis Felipe Scolari's hopes in Sao Paulo at 18 minutes when Ramon Alvia netted an easy finish in front of goalkeeper Weverton after a low cross from Villa. That forced the Brazilians to win by 3 goals of advantage to qualify. Palmeiras only leveled the score at 52 minutes when Luan smashed the ball into the net after Boca's defense failed to clear a free kick cross from Lucas Lima. Hopes were high at the Allianz Arena when Gustavo Gomez converted a penalty at 60 minutes. But 10 minutes later, Palmeiras villain Dario Benedetto, once more coming from the bench, scored again from the edge of the box. The striker had scored both Boca goals at La Bombonera in the week before in the end of the first leg. And Fluminense reached the semi-finals of the Copa Sudamericana with a 1-0 win over Nacional on Wednesday. After a 1-1 draw in the first leg in Rio de Janeiro on the 24th of October, the Brazilians snatched an aggregate win with an away goal in the second half in Montevideo. Junior Sornova pounced on Nacional captain and goalkeeper Esteban Conde's poor ball forward, and the Ecuadorian picked out Luciano, who slotted home what proved to be the winner 4 minutes after halftime. The Uruguayans were unable to find an equalizer to force a penalty shootout, and tempers flared as the final whistle approached when Nacional's Alfonso Espino was sent off for a stamp on Fluminense's Sornosa. Fluminense's next face Atlético Paranense, who defeated Bahia on penalties in their quarterfinal tie. And Raheem Sterling has verbally agreed to a new 5-year deal in Manchester City, according to reports. It is understood the England winger's representatives reached an agreement with City Director of Football, Txiki Bergerstein, in the last few days, with a deal expected to be signed in the coming weeks. His previous contract had been due to expire in just over 18 months, but he will now be tied to City until 2023. Sterling joined City from Liverpool in 2015 in a deal worth up to £49 million and has since scored 48 goals in 151 appearances for the club. He has been capped 46 times by England and featured at 2 World Cups. And the funeral of late Leicester's chairman Srivaddhanaprabha will begin on Saturday in Bangkok, the capital of his native Thailand. Vichai, aged 60, was one of 5 people killed when his helicopter crashed in a car park outside the King Power Stadium on Saturday night. According to reports in Thailand, Vichai's body is set to be transported from Leicester to the Southeast Asian country on Friday. Accompanying the body will be his widow, Ayman, and son, Iwat. Iwat, who is known as top and is vice chairman at Leicester, has vowed to carry on his father's big vision and dreams. The funeral will last several days in keeping with Buddhist tradition, and Srivaddhanaprabha's status in Thailand means it has been given royal sponsorship. Claude Puel says the outcome of Leicester's Premier League match with Cardiff on Saturday is irrelevant, with the sole focus on honouring Vichai Srivaddhanaprabha. Srivaddhanaprabha was among 5 people killed in a helicopter crash outside the King Power Stadium last Saturday night, following the 1-1 draw with West Ham. Vichai's son Iwat and the players insisted this weekend's game go ahead as part of the ongoing tribute to the late chairman. Speaking ahead of the visit to Cardiff, Puel said, and I quote, "The game is not important, the result is not important, but our desire, our action, our power to give our best on the pitch to honour our chairman, I think is the most important thing." And in golf, Justin Rose made a great start in the defence of his Turkish Open title at Antalya on Thursday, although it was Ireland's Paul Dune who took the lead on day 1. Dune fired a superb bogey-free 7-under par 64 at Regnum Carrier Golf and Spa Resort to take a 1-shot lead over Englishman Rose. Denmark's Thorbjørn Olesen and fellow Irishman Padraig Harrington. Dune has been struggling for most of the year, having failed to register a top 10 since China Open in April, and was understandably delighted to find some form. Rose, meanwhile, made the best possible start to his round by holing out for eagle on the par 4 fourth from the fairway. He picked up 2 more birdies at the 5th and 8th to make the turn in 4 under, and then finished strongly with birdies at the 15th and the last. A large group of 7 players follows on 5 under, 2 back, including a pair of former world number 1s in Lee Westwood and Martin Kaymer. The duo are joined by a Chinese pair, Ashung Wu and Hao Tong Lee, Belgium's Thomas Dirtry, Thailand's leading player, Kiradech Afibarnat, and Englishman Sam Horsfield. Ryder Cup hero Tommy Fleetwood, playing alongside Rose, opened with a solid 68 to lie on 3 under, 4 back. Well, I'm now joined by Arise sports correspondent Sinonso Arinzichi. Thank you for being here.
It was nice to be here.
Now, let's get right into it. Man City defeated Fulham to book a place in the last 8 of the EFL Cup. Now, can you sort of take us through the game?
Yeah, it was a wonderful game. A clash of Premier League rivals. Fulham, the team who is in the Premier League, struggling, and also Manchester City, who is smooth sailing there, top of the table. It was like we expected. Manchester City controlled the game. They had they created lots of chances. I think the only chance Fulham had was only a shot on target. The shot on target was in the first half. That almost a back pass. So I think Man City controlled the game. 2 goals from Brahim Diaz, the wonder kid, 19-year-old young boy who has struggled for first games this season, managed to get himself into the scoreship, and then he scored again after the rebound from Gabriel Jesus. They are now through to the next round. They'll play either Leicester City or Southampton in the quarterfinals. The games were delayed due to the fact that the chairman, Vichar, died in the helicopter crash. So I think Manchester City right now, they are going for the quadruple. They are on course. They have won. They have not lost against the beginning of the season. And it's looking like no matter which team Pep Guardiola sets up, he gets the same result. Today, he rested the likes of Otamendi, the likes of Mendy, the left back, the goalkeeper Ederson, Kun Aguero didn't even kick a ball today. Mahrez came in from the bench. There was no David Silva, no Fernandinho, no Bernardo Silva, and it was too smooth sailing. It would have been 4, 5, 6, or even more. Like I said, Pep Guardiola and Manchester City right now can do no wrong. 2 goals to nil, through to the quarterfinals. Brand Diaz, the hero. What a player he is, a young talent indeed.
And let's talk about Brahim Diaz with the brace for the Citizens. How good is this young lad?
He's a quality player. He's grown from the cadet level, from the under 17s. Now he's playing at the under 20 level. He's good. I think he's a quality player, no doubt about it. But looking at the fact that this Manchester side, there are lots of talent. Even the likes of Leroy Sané can hardly get games in the Premier League, in the Champions League this season. I think when it comes to quality players, Manchester are not shy of that. They've got quality players all around. Even in their junior team, I think it's going to be a debut for the young man to remember. He got his first start in the FA Cup, and boy oh boy, he got a brace at home in front of the darling France. So he was even substituted and was given a standing ovation. I think it's a game he would never forget. Whether he ends up breaking into the squad, to this Manchester City squad or not, I think this is one of the games that he will look back and say, yes, I think this is one of my best games.
And so what does he need to do to make it into the first team for Manchester City?
Keep playing his game. I think this Manchester City has a lot of stars. I'll be shocked if he starts the next game in the Premier League, or maybe even games in the FA Cup. Like you said, players like Rossetti can hardly get into the team. John Stones struggle to get into the team. The captain, Vincent Kompany, can hardly get a game in the team. Gabriel Jesus has to make do with the cup competitions to play games this season. So, like I said, when you're giving your chances, this is how you make a statement. He was given his chance to that the FA Cup. He got 2 goals. And who says he may not be even available also? The coach may not put his faith in him the next FA game against either Leicester or Southampton. So I think what he needs to do is keep playing his game, wait for his chances, and when he gets his chance, like he did today, make due use of it.
And now, still in Manchester, Sterling signs new deal with Man City. Now, it seems Manchester City is slowly getting their business together.
Yeah, they are. I think the best part of their business decision is that they're keeping majority of their big players. They've got Kevin De Bruyne to sign a new contract. Pep Guardiola also has signed a new contract. A lot of the players have signed new contract. The good thing about it is these players are given new contracts. Yes, like you said in the summer, they only got to one player, Riyad Mahrez from Leicester City, but they're keeping the bulk of the players who won the Champions League last season. Sterling now has put pen to paper, just like Kevin De Bruyne. John Stones recently did so. Otamendi has signed a new contract. Kun Aguero too has signed a new contract. So, like they believe keeping people who are their main factors in this Manchester City project under Pep Guardiola is the way to go. And smoothly they're doing it. They're keeping their players on long-term contract. I think this Manchester City team, I'm afraid they can dominate English football for the next 4 or 5 years if they keep hold of these players. And that's what they're trying to do. Keep the best players and see who says they cannot create a dynasty like the Alex Ferguson and Manchester United.
All right, well, I really want us to finish all of this, but you know what? It's time for a break now. So we're going to head to a break, but we'll get back to that shortly. But just stay with us because there's still plenty more ahead on the Global Sports Reports.
Nigeria. We are 198 million productive people with over 900,000 square kilometers of fertile land. Nigeria's banking system has emerged strong and resilient from the 2016 crisis, which has enhanced our productivity in agribusiness and manufacturing. Come, invest in Nigeria's agribusiness, manufacturing, and value-added mining. Enjoy the Central Bank of Nigeria-led initiatives in funding interventions, stabilized exchange rate, friendly capital repatriation regime, and many more. The Central Bank of Nigeria's robust monetary policy and interventions under President Buhari's administration and position the economy to target and attain a GDP growth of 6% with a strong and growing external reserves. Come, invest in Nigeria. Nigeria, ready for business.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch. For easy, fast, and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank. in your best interest.
There is nothing as symbolic as a door. It shuts to protect you and opens to give you much more. Everyone wants to succeed, not just count pennies. When life gets tough, I remember a few things. Difficulty and struggles are part of what life brings. Your strength comes from the support around you. A true friend believes in what you do, there to hold your hand through any weather. I found my partner, and we walked through doors together.
Diamond, your bank.
Welcome back. You're with the Rise News. I'm Folake Adesugba, and this is Global Sports Reports. Now, Novak Djokovic reached the quarterfinals in Bercy on Thursday after Demir Zuma retired with a back injury. The Bosnian had a lengthy massage late in the first set. He carried on playing, but after a few more games, he was forced to retire. Djokovic led 6-1, 2-1. He set his new personal best as he extended his streak to 30 consecutive sets won, passing his previous best mark of 29 achieved between the US Open final and Paris semi-finals in 2015. The four-time champion will face Raheem Sterling in the quarterfinal, who came through a first-set tiebreaker to beat Grigor Dimitrov. Cillic trailed 5-4 during the tiebreaker but won both points on Dimitrov's serve before serving out the first set. He then started the second set with a break and sealed the set and won 6-4. Cillic requires one more victory to qualify for the ATP finals in London. And fourth seed Alexander Zverev advanced to the quarterfinals of the Paris Masters after beating Diego Schwartzman 6-4, 6-2. The 21-year-old edged ahead in Thursday's third-round meeting, breaking Schwartzman in the third game of the opening set. Zverev saved 2 break points in the following game and survived another in the 10th game on the way to serving out the set 6-4. Fatigue then appeared to catch up with Argentine Schwartzman in a second set, the 15th seed suffering back-to-back breaks in the third and fifth games. Zverev went on close out a 6-4, 6-2 victory, and the fourth seed will take on Russia's Karen Khachanov in the quarterfinals. Well, the Halloween spirit made its way through the NBA as many of the best basketball players in the world dressed up for the festivities on Wednesday. LeBron James arrived at the Staples Center ahead of the Los Angeles Lakers game with the Dallas Mavericks as Jason from the horror film franchise Friday the 13th. Teammates JaVale McGee opted to dress as the Grinch. While across the country in New York, Indiana Pacers star Victor Oladipo entered Madison Square Garden as the Black Panther before an inspired performance against the Knicks. Meanwhile, after breaking the single-game three-point record against the Chicago Bulls last time out, Golden State Warriors shooting guard Klay Thompson arrived before their game against the New Orleans Pelicans as Jackie Moon from Semi-Pro, complete with head and wristbands. Now, LeBron James scored 29 points and made the game-winning free throw with 2.1 seconds left as the Los Angeles Lakers held on for a 114-113 win over the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers led nearly throughout and were up 111-98 with 3:42 to go before the Mavericks went on a 15-2 run to pull even with 7 seconds remaining. Luka Doncic tied it at 113 on a jumper from the corner, but James was fouled by Wesley Matthews while shooting a jump shot. James missed the first free throw, but made the second, and the Lakers stopped a 2-game skid. JaVale McGee added 16 points and 15 rebounds, and Kyle Kuzma scored 18 for the Lakers. Matthews led Dallas with 21 points, and Harrison Barnes scored 19. The Mavericks have lost 5 straight. Elsewhere, Derrick Rose scored a career-high 50 points, turning back the clock to his prime years and lifting the Minnesota Timberwolves over the Utah Jazz 128-125 on Wednesday night. Rose was in tears after the game as he walked off the court, serenaded by chants of MVP, MVP from the home crowd. The 30-year-old point guard has been derailed by injuries since he was the 2011 NBA MVP. He had 34 points in the second half and 15 in a tightly contested fourth quarter as the Wolves held off the Jazz. His basket down low with 30 seconds remaining put Minnesota up for good, and he made 2 free throws with 13.8 seconds left to preserve a 3-point lead. The Jazz missed 2 3-point attempts in the final 10 seconds to tie the game before Rose blocked Dante Exum's shot, and Timberwolves Karl Anthony Towns grabbed the rebound to ensure Rose's big night was not finished. And let's talk boxing. Anthony Joshua has confirmed that Dillian Whyte could face him at Wembley Stadium if he beats Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder fails to step up. Joshua has divided loyalties between his 2 fellow heavyweights and will be ringside when they meet again at the O2 London on December 22nd. AJ would also like to see North Londoner Chisora win, while Wilder's team are willing to resume negotiations after his December fight with Tyson Fury. Whyte is also a serious option for April 13th. All right, Nonsorin Zichi returns to discuss these stories with me. Welcome back on board.
Always good to be
Now,
here.
let's talk Novak Djokovic setting up a quarterfinal berth with Marin Cillic.
Yeah.
Now, can we say that Djokovic is returning back to his very best?
I think the past few months for Djokovic has been the best of his career in recent times. He struggled with some niggling injuries, but now he's back at his best. The good news before this game today was that he became world number 1 because Rafa Nadal pulled out from taking part of the round 3 of the Paris Masters. That means whatever happens, whether he plays the tournament or not, if he participates, by Monday in the new ATP rankings, he'll be world number 1. So it's been a long time since a player who was outside the world number 1 to 50 in a season ended up this year as world number 1. So for Djokovic, he's back to playing the best tennis of his life. Maybe not as he used to be. Then it was epic. He went past tennis players like if they were not there. He was emphatic, but now the good thing is back to full fitness, and that he's playing at least not the best ball of his career, but at least one of the best football in recent times.
Really charming man he is. I recall meeting him back then when he was number 1 in the world.
Yeah,
he's really charismatic.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah. Like I said, he stuck it up. Injury-wise, has not been a friend to him. At some point, there was a point in tennis that we were like, there was no Grand Slam he wasn't going to take. It was that good, and we thought it was a phase of a new era after Federer and Rafa Nadal got injured. But like I said, it's tennis, anything can happen. I love the men's terrain. You at some point you have your spot. At some point you're knocked out.
What are we to expect from Cillic?
Cillic is a stubborn contingent. That's where I want to put it. He would give Novak Djokovic a run for his money. But I think Djokovic, like I said on paper, is unplayable. I think there's a swagger with the way he plays.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He makes tennis look so easy, and that's what it works for him. His service is top notch, and he's good with his quick his forehands and his right hand. So I think Cillic will give him a game. It will be an upset if Cillic goes ahead to defeat him, but I think on paper I'll put my money on.
So can we say then that maybe is it possible then that he could win the Masters?
It's possible, but like I said, there are contenders right now who are playing the best tennis of their life. We talked about Federer yesterday with him winning his 90th title, heading for his 100th title. He won his game today. Let's not forget, there are all these. I don't think the big guns are the problem. There are a lot of banana peels, the likes of David Schwartzman. So I think it's going to be a tough one for Djokovic to go and win the Paris Masters. But like I said, all the best tennis players right now, the Roger Federers, have one eye on the ATP finals in London. But like I said, you're in a tournament to win it. No matter what we say, it's not a Grand Slam, it's just an ATP tournament. But like I said, you must be the best to be the best.
All right, well now I really want us to talk NBA real quickly because LeBron James and the LA Lakers managed to snatch a slim win.
Yeah.
Talk about finally.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is the problem with the Lakers? I mean,
it's not as if it's a new issue. They had a lot of issue last year, but everybody thought with the signing of LeBron James, it's going to be a different ball game altogether. Last season, LeBron James was almost epic. Yes, they didn't win the NBA due to the fact that the Stephen Curry and the guys that is the Golden State Warriors were unplayable during the finals. But I think with LeBron James, everybody now feels the pressures on LA Lakers. They feel they have to beat the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's the problem. It seems there's so much pressure on LeBron James to perform. He hit 29 yesterday, but we know it was a slim victory, 114 to 113, just a point gap. So I think the pressure is so much on LeBron James, and I think he has to calm himself down and just play his game. Play his game of playing. We don't have to play good tennis, good basketball, and if he just plays his game, and forget about the pressure.
I wish we could go on, but we're out of time. Time flies when you're talking sports.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on here. It's always a pleasure, of course.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Well, that's it for this edition of Global Sports Report. Thank you for being a part of the program. I'm Folake Adesugba. Let's do this again, same time tomorrow. Goodbye for now.